Hey everyone, Ivy League Gaming here, and today we're playing Dragonheir Silent Gods. For today's video, I'm going to answer a very important question that I keep seeing surprisingly often. What about duplicates? What happens when we get duplicate heroes? So this was a question I was kind of surprised to see because to me it's been obvious because I played before the beta. It does show something pop up and it kind of explains, and if you look at the characters a little bit, at least the legendaries, if you have one, you can see. But the more this question popped up, the more I realized it's not so obvious, and the game really does not do a good job of explaining, so let's get to it. Quick warning and a spoiler alert, if you haven't already seen my recent summons, I'm going to be clicking my characters, so spoiler alert, if you haven't watched my summoning videos, go watch those first. Alright, so the first basic question is there a dupe system? And yes, there is. There's a couple different types of dupe systems, so to speak, as well. So there are ways to deal with your dupes, so to speak, that are automatic, honestly, and it makes it very easy. I'm talking about duplicates for rares and epics, so let's deal with that first, and then we'll talk about legendaries. So let's go into our summoning page. You're gonna notice when you summon kind of what happens to those duplicates. So let's go ahead and do a Starlight summon. I'm going to assume I'm going to get a duplicate at the very least of a rare. Let's hopeful for sake of this video. When you get a duplicate, you get special resources that you can use for other things in the game. As you can see, the two on the end, this fire and this poison guy over here, they don't have this resource shown at the bottom of them. That means they're new for my account. That's one very obvious way when you're summoning to tell if you get somebody that's new for your account. If they don't have a currency here, they're not a duplicate. So that makes it really easy for sake of just kind of the excitement of knowing if you got something new or not. And that you're gonna have to remember to go check out their kit later. And just a reminder, this game is definitely the kind of game where you can play rares. You can play epics. You don't need legendaries. So don't be too frustrated if you don't get a legendary early. I mean, come on. All of you Raid Shadow Legends players, how long does it take some people to get a damn legendary in that game? Right? Am I right? So we can't be complaining too much if you're not super lucky right away. And alright, let's get back to this dupe system idea though before I stray off topic. So here we have this currency here. This is called an imprint stone. You get this blue level imprint stone for rares and for commons. You also get the essence of creation. As it says, used to refine artifacts. So the blue imprint stone here is a special currency that you can use in the shop. So what we're going to do is go into where you can actually use it. So we're going to go to the exchange, and then we're going to go to the artifact shop, and you're going to see these special imprint stones at the top up here. When you get a rare or a common, you get a blue one. When you get an epic, you get a purple, and a legendary, you get a yellow. So first, let's continue talking about our blue and our purple. So there are rare and epic special artifacts within your shop. So these are going to be ones you can only buy once, it seems, for the basic ones. The epic ones, same thing. You can only buy one of them. So I have not got any dupe epics yet. I have no currency for the dupe epics on this account. But I do have a bunch of these blue ones that you could tell I've purchased already. So what's going to happen is you're going to go ahead and you'll be able to purchase these special ones, and you can only use the blue currency for these specific things, right? So eventually you're just going to have a whole bunch of extra blue currency. Now that's one flaw I see in this game right now, right? If we can only buy these once per season, is it? We're going to have way too many of these blue currency that we can't even use. So maybe there's a way to convert it, and maybe that's something I can suggest to the developers, or if they're watching this now, we really need a way to convert this blue currency to purple. Maybe at the very least, let us convert it to the epic ones if we'd like to. Or let us refresh the shop every now and then, or give us 5 of each instead of 1. That'd be very easy, right? So we could at least use these special rare currency on more of the artifacts once we start building up more teams. You are going to focus on a core team at the beginning, but eventually you're really going to want a team of every elemental affinity. You're going to want a solid 3 teams to run depending on what content you're doing. And then you might have more characters beyond that that are special for the clan boss, as we could call it, or the arena type content. You might end up specializing. So we're going to need more than just this. So I really hope we can get some sort of improvements. Ideally, convert the blue to purple, even if it's at a bit of a loss, just to make it worth it in the end, because this is just going to overflow. These artifacts give special bonuses. There's all sorts of special bonuses, whether it be extra damage, speed, extra damage from your ultimate, extra HP, or even some interesting extra skills. Some of those legendary ones are very special, so you'll have to look through yourself and take a deeper look. But what's going to happen here is you're going to be able to equip them on a character once you get them beyond level 50. So you'll see here, like, I just got her ascended. She got to level 50 and then she was ascended, and now this spot is open. But if they have not been ascended yet, like this guy here, you need to improve them to 3-star before you can actually use an artifact. So, okay, I didn't just get her. She's benched, sadly, now for another healer that's also a reviver, but that's another story. But all right, let's take a look here. So, if you want to level up these artifacts, you just to refine, and it's this currency that you were seeing when you summon. This yellow currency here, the essence of creation, this is what you can use to improve your artifacts. It does get a little bit expensive the higher levels you get into, but still pretty damn good, and the bonuses are wonderful, and it's definitely worth improving. Now, am I making a mistake? I think I should be a little more careful with my resource right now, but I feel like before I'm able to start getting dupes of epics and legendaries to get the higher level rarity items, the artifacts, I will probably have plenty of extra currency to use. So I think I'm pretty safe taking things to at least level 8. I don't know if I'm going to take things to the max, honestly, because it's quite expensive for this essence of creation. But I do want to point out that you can get the essence of creation in a different way, not just summons. As you can see here, the Alliance shop, you want to buy this every week, as I already did, sold out for the week. Essence of creation, 300 of it allows you to improve your artifacts. So that's really great. There's another pack here once your alliance reaches a higher level, and here once it reaches 4, 1, 7, and 9. So you can really get a ton of essence of creation from more than just a summon. So that's really nice to see that they did that in this game. Also, the arena shop, see, sold out for this week. Sold out for this week. I already bought it. The discounted version of the Essence of Creation I really think is good value. I don't think I would personally go ahead and buy this because I'd rather take the gamble of buying the die and potentially getting a game-changing epic or an epic duplicate that I might actually really want for sake of those artifacts as well. Versus just getting 300 creation, which can only get you a few levels anyway, so it's not that crazy. So I think when it comes to the arena shop, you're going to want to stick to the discounted one and the die. Don't worry about getting these if they're quite expensive like they are now. The season shop does not have that, so that kind of covers that. Now, we have to talk about our legendary, right? What happens when you can, or what can you do with the legendary yellow what do they call imprint stone? So one of the most important things you're going to want to do is enhance your characters. This is kind of like empowerment in Raid Shadow Legends. You start with 1 level. Once you get 1 dupe, you can get bonus stats for that character. Sometimes this is going to have an extra special ability as well along with it. Like this one just is straight extra defense. But look at this. Chance to be immune to control effects when level 5 inspired, right? So there, if you get 6 duplicates or 6 of the same character, eventually you will max them out, And then the good thing is, even if you get beyond that, if you're terribly unlucky and you get 7 of the same character, there's gonna be a way to deal with those duplicate resources as well, which I'll show you again in a moment. But yeah, this is kind of what you're gonna want to do first and foremost, is just if they're a character you're using especially, why not make them better? You're gonna improve their base stats and you're gonna add an extra skill. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 duplicate slots for inspiration, and that's only for legendary characters. You cannot inspire epic characters, as you see here when you go to enhance. There's no option there. So let's head on back to the shop. We're going to go to the exchange, artifacts, and legendary. So what you can do here is, if you don't want to inspire a character, a legendary, and instead you want to use it to get a special fancy artifact, which honestly are really good, you might decide to use it for here instead. You just have to weigh your options, and if it's a character you really love, I would say go with making that one character the best they can be. But if it's someone that you're like, I'm only gonna use them in this niche situation, or they're already benched, I like my rarer epics better for a certain team, well, then you might actually use it here. So just keep in mind that there are options, and there's an exclusive option as well. So some of the characters in the game have a special exclusive artifact for them that's made for them in mind. So that's really fun to see here. So let's go to Vitar, our favorite ass Storm, and the one who tells you to accept your fate. She has her own special exclusive artifact that's based around her abilities and affects her alone. For the most part, you're going to want to analyze, is this one for that character you specifically have, is that better than something else you'd want to use as a legendary? If it is better, then save your imprint stone for that specifically, and then wait till you get another duplicate to where you can buy this to make that character have an extra unique bit of skills or damage or whatever it may be. But if it's not, then you're probably best to just go ahead and inspire that character and then just buy legendaries in the future. But I really like that we have a lot of options for dealing with our duplicates. Again, the only thing I think my complaint would be this. Imprint stones that are blue from rares. It's only 1 week into the game and already I've bought out almost the entire rare shop. Now what? Right? Now what? What do I do with this? It's just going to overflow for the whole rest of the 11 weeks of gameplay? I hope not, right? I hope not. So I really hope they give us some solution to craft this into something else, or at the worst, just increase the amount of these we can buy so we could at least purchase low-level artifacts for use in our with our other team comps that are not just our one team. Because not having an artifact on a character is a really big deal. It adds a really nice bonus, and there's some really creative stuff here. Like this one increases the success rate of buffs or debuffs by an ultimate skill. So if someone is applying a special debuff and you want to make sure they have like a 100% chance to land, that's gonna really make a big difference, and I feel like it's something you probably want to get versus not having it at all. Plus it just gives us extra base stats. Of course, this gives extra accuracy to land that debuff in the first place, which is super smart. So hopefully they have a solution for this extra blue imprint stones in the future for our rares, and I will suggest that to the team separately besides saying it in this video. But hope this was helpful, guys. I hope this helped to explain what happens with the dupe system, and if you haven't started playing this game, hopefully this is encouraging and makes you want to play it, knowing that there is a pretty good and well varied duplicate system that actually gives you options to do more than just one thing with those legendary duplicates on your account. But thank you guys for watching. That's all for now. I'll see you in the next video.